Hi, everyone. Welcome again to Wingman Wisdom. I am the RV Wingman, and thank you for joining me today. If you're a subscriber to the channel, you may say, what happened to you yesterday? Well, I was taking yesterday off, celebrating the 4th of July. So I know today is Wednesday. I'm wearing my patriotic shirt. Many of you drop comments down below, and I read them all. And you ask about the shirts that I wear. I buy them just like you'll have to buy them, but they're really good looking and they're well-made shirts, not super expensive. They're made here in the USA, and the company that I buy them from, the owner of the company, provides you a 10% discount if you ever want to buy any. All you got to do is click the word show more down here in the description. Look for High Seas Trading Company. You can link over to them, and they even give a discount if you're a viewer here of Wingman Wisdom. So that's a little shameless plug about my shirts. But happy birthday, America. Let me know where you spent the Independence Day weekend. Today, I'm going to talk a little bit about RV buying advice with my guest, but more importantly, I want you to meet him. If you haven't met him before here on the channel, I want you to know Zach Reiniger from a more personal level, like I do. He's young, he's smart, he's honest, he's afraid of nothing. If you said, that person is a lazy slob, and you look at that end of the spectrum, on the opposite end of the spectrum, in that lonely place where the leaders are, that's where you'll find Zach Reiniger. Really smart, and I'm proud to call him a friend. Let's go to that interview right now.
I would say, first off, don't buy the first one you fall in love with. Give yourself some time to digest, and this is going to be counter to. Pretty much. I'm sure there's a lot of dealers or a lot of other sales reps that are hearing me say that, and they don't like that. But I'm sorry, but happy customers bring back other customers. We don't need customers that are unhappy because they rushed a decision. We've seen that the last 2 years. It doesn't really work out. Right. So I would say take your time, do your homework, so that you really know like what you're looking at is what's going to be a good fit for you. The second one would be, I would really encourage customers, this probably ties into number one, but like spend the time really thinking about how you're going to use it. Truly how you're going to use it. Because a lot of customers too, I think, tell themselves a story. Like, oh, I'm going to go, let's say like all the solar and like lithium packages, right? Like people love the idea. They tell themselves, I'm going to go out and I'm going to be boondocking for 2 weeks and there's nobody around and I'm never going to see anybody. But the reality is they've got cats, dogs, family, young kids that are in school, like all this, like it's never going to happen for them. And so when you really realize like, oh, I don't need all that other stuff because it actually doesn't fit this stage of my life, or I'm not going to do it. That's a big one. I see people coming in and I think they tell themselves the dream without thinking about reality of how they're actually going to use it. And they get something that doesn't fit how they're actually going to use it, and then it creates friction, so they don't use it or they regret the purchase.
Talk about nuance though. There's that sweet spot, and everybody's just a little bit different. But that if you've got somebody wanting to buy, even though they're wanting to buy the wrong thing, I mean, what do? Say, nope, I'm just not going to sell it to you, or do you take that's a hard decision to make, but at least it needs to be a conversation that you have with the customer.
That's my take on it. I've had plenty of conversations like that over the years where I've just said, guys, look, I'll gladly sell it to you, right? Like we're here to sell stuff. Mm-hmm. I will gladly sell it to you, but I will only gladly sell it to you after I share my opinion, having done this for almost 20 years. I don't think you need to spend the money on that stuff. Like I just don't. I make more if you buy all this stuff and put all this stuff on it. Like I make more money, but I don't think you need it. This is why. Now, some people, and there's a lot of them out there, just want all the stuff, or they like the best stuff. That's cool too, because that scratches that itch for them. And that's actually a good fit for that customer. Rather, even if they're never going to use it, but that's just who they are. They want all that stuff. And that's just what they do in all their vehicles and all their houses. Fine. But as long as we have that conversation and try and guide them to make better decisions, it's ultimately their choice at the end of the day. But as long as we've given them that information to make the right choice for them, then we can, move forward and feel good about it. That's the key, is just making sure we're taking good care of them and giving them good guidance.
Something you started doing not long ago. You started a YouTube channel, your own personal YouTube channel. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to put a link to it down here below. And I want to say that you have inspired me with your messages. Talk to me about your channel. What's your purpose? What's your intent to do Mindset Mondays? What is that all about?
And first of all, thank you for sharing that, and thank you for supporting it and watching it. It's like I've told you before, it's always such a high compliment to hear things from you and the feedback that I get. So thank you for that. It started almost a year. I've had my own little private Facebook group just for some of my sales teams out there that I've kind of done videos, but it almost stems from like a deeper calling, I guess. In a strange way, it sounds a little profound to say it that way, but I have a lot to share, and I have a lot of experience in a lot of different things, and I see things, and it would drive me crazy seeing certain things and seeing people not having the right standards or living up to potential in certain areas. And not that I'm, this bastion of light on the hill by any means. I have so much work that I have to do. But I just decided I'm going to make everything public, and I'm going to start sharing, and I'm going to get uncomfortable. And it's, as you know, it's very uncomfortable to start putting yourself out there and sharing all of this publicly. But my goal is, if I can actually help somebody or help someone improve, or one video that connects with someone and actually changes their life or helps them, that's kind of been my driving force. And if you're okay with it, I'd love to share something that.
Yeah, please.
I actually got a phone call yesterday evening from one of my sales guys at a dealership, and he was calling to tell me that he's leaving. He's actually going to go work and do something else. He's been there about 10 years. Great guy. And he told me, he's like, hey, I just want to tell you, like, I really appreciate your friendship, but I wanted to tell you your videos have had such an massive impact on me. I was just like, oh, that's awesome. I love hearing it. I'm great. And he's like, no, you don't understand. He's like, I'm now 9 months sober, and I can't even tell you the darkest of dark days. And some of your videos, I would sit there and watch them, and they got me through those days.
Wow.
And I mean, Alan, I've got goosebumps right now telling the story. Like, I haven't shared it with anybody else. Like,
yeah,
you want to talk about like this profound, like, oh my goodness. Well, if that doesn't reinforce kind of just trying to help and add value, that's really all I'm coming from. And it's like that call made every awkward video that I've done, all the discomfort that I've gone through, putting all that out there, made it worth it. Like that felt amazing to me to know that, like, hey, I've helped him.
That's the greatest kind of income, I think, that I get when I do my videos. When somebody says, you touched my life and really it had an impact, it's like, I'm not stopping.
Exactly. Right. Like
I ain't stopping.
That was the thing. And it's, I don't think there's really anybody in our industry doing stuff like this. And I'm going to use it to share stuff about the industry. We talk a lot about the RV side.
But you talk about the other you did one about Forrest Gump's mama. Talk about that real quick.
Yeah, I mean, it was a play on Forrest Gump's. Life's like a box of chocolates, but as like life is like a box of choices, and we don't know what we're gonna get. Right? Like we don't know if we're gonna get the choice that we really love, that perfect chocolate, or the really crappy one that you never wanted to eat. But we all do get a choice. We not be the choices we want, but we get choices, and those choices add up. And that's the stuff that I really like sharing, because if it has an impact and it makes people think and it makes people make better choices, I think that the standards that are set not only for our industry, but just sales and people in general are too low. I just think they're too low. I think we can all be better. I think your listeners could be better customers. And they might not like hearing it because everybody loves to say, well, the dealership should be better. All this. Guess what? The customer should be better too. Because there's some customers that come in that if it was my dealership, I wouldn't do business with them. Things like that. And so we can all do better. And if I can share some ideas, and I laugh and joke a lot that it's like, well, on these videos, you guys get to see how my very particular ADHD brain works, where I come up with certain things at times, and I'm like, I'll just share it. And that's just been my goal, is just to try and help add value to people. And if I can make people better and, think, that's all I want to do. I just want to share more. I want to see people get better.
For such a young guy, Zach is so smart, and I think he is wise beyond his years. He's also a great listener, and most importantly, I think he has a very helping heart, and that's important. I speak all the time about the importance of buying the right brand of RV from the right dealer. But you got to do business with the right kind of people. I like doing business with people like Zach. They're not afraid. They're good listeners, and they truly, truly want to help you. I suggest that you take a little bit of Zach's advice and mine as well. Don't let some pushy salesman bully you into buying the wrong RV. Slow down, take your time. There are good people. There are good dealers out there. I know a bunch of them. If you would like to find out more information on the Wingman approved dealers, the RV dealers that I recommend, go to rvdealersitrust.com. It's a simple little website, rvdealersitrust.com. I vetted these people. I believe in them. I trust them. I think that you can too. rvdealersitrust.com. Drop a comment below. Let me know how important it is for you to find good people, not just the right deal or the right dealer, but the right person to do business with. As I said, let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Happy birthday, America. And I do appreciate you guys once again for being a part of my virtual campfire. I'm Alan Warren, the RV Wingman. Be safe, have fun, play nice, and don't leave your good manners at home.